What screams I'm insecure in my relationship? Having to post every second of it on Instagram. A Reddit post that states, what screams I'm insecure in my relationship? Jealousy. But that usually comes from the jealous party having bad experiences with prior partners. If you have nothing to hide, why won't you let me look at your phone? If they are screaming, it's definitely that person. Assuming they are cheating every time they open any form of social media. I don't know. Cheating was rampant when I was young, and this was when we barely had cell phones, let alone Tinder and all the social media apps. And we still somewhat condemned it. People under a certain age today are glorifying side pieces and they have access to all that stuff. It's really not a stretch to assume that if someone has the opportunity to cheat, they absolutely will and will basically be praised for it. Using couple pronouns for everything. Not farting or burping in front of one another. Constantly borderline spying, checking on your so overly paranoid. When you're constantly asking your friends and thinking to yourself if your so actually loves you. Snooping through partner's phone. My friend was dating this girl and she wouldn't let me hang out with him or them, or even a double date. Here's one of my good friends, and for a while we weren't even talking cause she's an insecure person. What's the password to your hoss? Why are you liking pictures? Is she prettier than me? Sharing your social media accounts or only having one phone between the two of you? Having to constantly be at their hip and know what they're doing at every moment of the day. Always wanting to be together. There's this thing called personal space, you know. Frequent posts on Facebook or Instagram about how much you love your so. Making your so give your password to them. Kinda the same as having a joint account though. Posting on Facebook about how great their relationship is with their so constantly. I once saw a couple wearing matching hoodies that said she's my girlfriend and he's my boyfriend. They were even standing, so the arrows pointed at each other, lest there be any confusion. In WV I saw something like this, but there were additional words like cousin, stepfather, sister, etc. One of my friend's boyfriend will count to 3 when another man hugs her and then separate the two. He does this to his best friend, a dude she's known for 4 years, everyone. And sadly she's no better. Because of a rocky past with boys, if a girl even looks at him, she goes nuts and yells at him about cheating and liking her more. She has done this to his friends, his boss, also everyone. Jealousy. I had a boyfriend once who would get jealous if I talked to other guys when we went out. When I asked him, don't you trust me? He replied, sure, but I don't trust him. Well, you see, it kinda takes 2 to tango. So, if you trust me, who cares about that guy? Basically, he felt bad about himself and thought I'd go find someone else more worthy. I got sick of it and left, so he was right. Sure, but I don't trust him. So, if you trust me, who cares about that guy? Because eventually one of those other guys who pushes up on it will win out. Super sappy posts on Facebook. I'm your so phone like it's a dog that might bite. Implying they'd hurt, kill themselves if their partner were to ever leave them. I'm insecure in my relationship. Where are you going? What are you thinking? Can I come to? What are you feeling? You don't love me anymore. Why don't you love me anymore? Lots of social media posts, pictures about how in love you are and how perfect your relationship is. Plus, it's a surefire way for everyone around you to begin hating you. Constantly needing to perform PDA. I have no problem with seeing PDA, but if you need to constantly initiate a makeout session with your boyfriend in the back of my mum's car, it becomes more about showing everyone else that you're in a relationship than just wanting affection. When they make you feel bad about spending time with friends without them, or when they make you feel bad when you don't text call them back immediately. Constantly asking if you're mad. Asking if you think they're fat. Getting mad when you hang out with friends or don't reply right away. People who constantly try to control everything their so is doing, whether it is relevant to them or not. So true. My ex always wanted me to look a certain way. No nail polish, no makeup, no curling my hair, no hair dye, etc, etc. He didn't even like that I kept a hair tie around my wrist. I had to leave him once he started controlling which of my classmates I could and could not talk to, basically all the dudes. I met up with an old high school friend recently and he told me my ex is still doing that with his current girlfriend. Sorry, I had an answer in mind when I asked this. Joint Facebook accounts. When I see a joint Facebook account, my first thought is, so who cheated? I know so many of these people. It's awful. Bob, Jim Smith etc. Or constantly clogging their feed with stories about how great their so is. I knew a girl once who thought this was proof of love. She broke up with a guy because he didn't do this, and she deserved it. My parents won't last then. Joint Facebook account definitely sounds like a red flag after their 40+ years of marriage. Getting really angry about a pregnancy test box he found under the sink at my house when I was at work. Just sitting there getting mad. The box had been there for months, and both tests I took were negative. And I promptly forgot, because I wasn't pregnant. I just keep one under there, because I have very erratic periods. Still shouldn't have punched a hole in my wall. I'd do the same thing. He probably thought you were cheating.